Why are women in America freezing their eggs at record rates? It's not just about biology, it's about equality. With no national paid maternity leave, many women feel forced to choose between their careers, financial stability, and motherhood. In this lecture, I'll explore how egg freezing isn't just a medical option, it's a social justice issue. It's about harnessing autonomy, creating opportunity, and leveling the playing field for women who want both a career and a family. The systemic factor, lack of paid maternity leave, is impacting my clients' well-being. Why I chose this issue for clients' needs is the United States is one of the only countries that does not guarantee paid family leave. According to Paid Leave for All, only 25% of U.S. workers have access to paid family leave. Nearly 1 in 4 employed mothers have returned to work within 2 weeks of giving birth. Too many Americans must sacrifice their savings or lose their jobs when they need time to care for themselves or their families. Altering the laws would benefit the 21st century economy and the health of families. And paid maternity leave in the United States, associations with maternal and infant health, researchers compare paid maternity leave to unpaid leave. Women who took paid maternity leave experienced a 47% decrease in the odds of rehospitalizing their infants and a 51% decrease in the odds of being rehospitalized themselves at 21 months postpartum, compared to women taking unpaid or no leave. They also had 1.8 times the odds of doing well with exercise and stress management, compared to women taking only unpaid leave. Generous maternity leave benefits have been associated with lower rates of infant and child mortality and positive indicators for maternal mental health, breastfeeding, and childhood vaccination in international contexts. Less advantaged women in low-wage jobs have less access to paid time off after the birth of a child. Unfortunately, only 19% of U.S. employees have paid family leave benefits. They tend to be more highly paid employees with professional or management level jobs. Due to this inequality in access to paid maternity leave, certain disadvantaged groups of mothers, example low income and single, take less maternity. Also, length of unpaid maternity leave varies. The study in Can Single Mothers and Their Infants Benefit from Maternity Leaves in the United States compared the effects of length of maternity leave on mother-child interactions and on attachment among single and married mothers in the United States. The study found that longer maternity leaves resulted in higher quality of mother-child interactions and attachment security for married mothers. Yet single mothers and their infants were not able to benefit in the same ways from length of maternity leaves. Although single mothers were able to bond more closely to their children with longer maternity leave, they did so more in a stressed manner, exposing their children to cortisol due to the financial burden of taking unpaid leave. Therefore, there are limitations in the Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA, in the United States. There is a need for expansions to the policy so that all mothers and children can benefit from maternity leaves. In addition, lack of paid maternity leave negatively affects women mentally and emotionally and negatively affects the development, example, attachment style, of the child. The first weeks of a child's life are pivotal for the process of establishing positive mother-child interactions and secure attachments. I'm currently counseling women in their 30s who are choosing not to have children or would like to freeze their eggs but cannot afford the process. Part of these decisions is due to the rising expense of raising children and the lack of paid maternity leave. Motherhood may become incompatible with work due to a lack of paid maternity leave. Therefore, there is an inequality in work and wealth building, and so women should be granted the same opportunities as men to flourish in their careers and personal lives. Most of my clients in New York City will be hustling single women in their late 20s to 40s who would like to have a child, but not until they're focused on traveling, building financial stability, focusing on growing their career, and finding the right partner. Egg freezing levels the playing field for women so that they can have a successful career, go through higher education. Typically, pursuing higher education stalls the family-making process, and motherhood. It does not rush her to find a partner that suits her biological clock. In addition, due to a lack of paid maternity leave, women should be given the opportunity for affordable egg freezing so it can reach a wider range of women. Egg freezing and having a child later in life would allow women, especially single mothers, to save up more so they can take unpaid leave or take time off from work to dedicate themselves fully to motherhood. The sharp rise in egg freezing reveals that unpaid maternity leave or short paid maternity leave are not good working models in the United States. I have researched into a community-based clinic that makes egg freezing affordable for women whose companies or insurances don't help with the cost. Not many states have paid maternity leave as shown. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, 4 states, California, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island, have paid maternity leave laws. A few other states, like Washington and the District of Columbia, have legislation in place to offer their own paid leave policies by 2020. Because paid maternity leave and the length of the leave will not be changed anytime soon in the United States, egg freezing can help offset the negative impact of non-paid maternity leave. Therefore, Extend Fertility, offering a location in New York City, began offering egg freezing at 40% below the national average cost. By 2017, they were the largest egg freezing practice in the nation. Since then, they have expanded to offer a full range of infertility services, including IVF in a small practice environment that is more personal, higher quality, and data-driven. Fighting for equal rights for women is an ongoing battle. Even with the facts present, findings suggesting use and duration of paid maternity leave to be associated with lower odds of maternal and infant rehospitalization and positive maternal health behaviors, policymakers have not made the strides necessary to protect families. This may partly be due to white patriarchal men writing most of the laws when they are so divorced from the reality of giving birth and its bodily and psychological aftermath complications. Because it will be a long road for the United States to begin providing national paid maternity leave, affordable egg freezing is a good solution for women who would like to become more financially stable in order to ensure full-time focus on their children without the burden of financial stress. Although women choose to egg freeze for medical reasons, to focus on education and career without the pressure of time, most women freeze their eggs because they are looking for an equal partner in terms of maturity, education, and professional accomplishment. Anthropologist Marcia C. Inhorn proclaims that in big cities across the United States, there are more college-educated women than men. She states men who aren't as educated and career-driven typically feel intimidated by these women, and the men who are on the same level are non-committal, not looking to settle down because of the vast number of high-quality women wanting to date them. This is an interesting perspective for me to take in for my female clients in New York City, because there are many accomplished New York City women with high standards, and statistically, the odds of finding what they are looking for long-term wise is slim due to the small population of men who meet their criteria. New York City has a very high number of single women, including divorced women, and perhaps one reason why is their inflexible standards. For me to properly guide them, I may have to try to dismantle what they define as a successful man. Women can have wonderful relationships with men who may not make as much as them or be as educated, as long as these men are kind, supportive, committed, and have shared goals.